Okay, to regular people, the names Michael, Jim, Pam, and Dwight do not mean a thing. But if you're an Office fan, these are the four main characters on the show. Who doesn't like to hear a little bit of That's What She Said, or witness Jim play a funny prank on Dwight? The Office provides laughs and entertainment to millions every week. Where else can you earn a Shroot Buck, eat Pam's jelly beans, or flick a Dwight bobblehead? A small town in Pennsylvania called Scranton houses a scene for a television show based on the lives of people who work at a paper supply company called Dunder Mifflin. The Office is a well-written show as it has won Emmys, Golden Globes, and SAG Awards. It is simply the funniest show on television. I've seen every single episode, and I own all the seasons on DVD. Today, I would like to describe for you why The Office is the best show on television. It is the best show on television because it is funny, relatable, has love stories, and dramatic moments. The first reason why The Office is a great show is because it's relatable. The characters on the show have jobs that people can relate to in their own job environment. I mean, who doesn't work with somebody like Angela, who is uptight and bossy? Or have an annoying boss like Michael? According to Juan Lear, a writer for Helium, he states, "The characters are all very realistic, seem down to earth, and are easy for the viewer to identify with." They compound this with a lot of subtle humor that is made funnier by the characters that say the lines. The Office has episodes about typical events that can happen in the workplace, such as promotions, and they even illustrate some of the economical problems facing Americans during the recession, such as mergers, buyouts, and downsizing. These make the episodes seem more real as they use real problems for their episodes. The second reason why The Office is a great show is because it is funny. The characters on the show make it even better. You have Michael Scott, who is the regional manager at Dunder Mifflin. He craves the spotlight, and he bases his job off feelings and emotions rather than intelligence. He will say unintelligent things and even make racial jokes. He comes up with off-the-wall quotes, such as this one from Helium from the Benihana Christmas. He says, "Bros before hoes. Why? Because your bros are always there for you. They got your back after your hoe rips out your heart for no apparent reason. And you're nothing but great to your hoe. You told her that she was the only hoe for you, and that she was better than all the other hoes in the world. And then suddenly, she's not your hoe anymore." And then you have Dwight Schrute. He loves bears, beasts, Battlestar Galactica, authority, and lacks common sense. He is the top salesman at Dunder Mifflin, and he is famous for interrupting Michael's crazy and wacky ideas with questions. And then you have Jim Halpert. He is the most likable character on the show. He is funny, relatable, cute, and unmotivated. He's a salesman at Dunder Mifflin and spends the majority of his time playing pranks on Dwight, such as putting a stapler in Jell-O. One of his funniest quotes was from the dinner party episode, where he says, "Michael and Jan seem to be playing their own separate game, and it's called Let's See How Uncomfortable We Can Make Our Guests. So far, they're both winning, so I'm going to make a run for it." And then you have Pam Halpert. She is the longtime receptionist at Dunder Mifflin, who has since been promoted to a saleswoman. She is cute, likable, and funny, and oftentimes helps Jim plan pranks on Dwight. The Office is funny as well because they have funny quotes. Whenever my friends and I watch The Office, we always love to quote certain scenes or characters. Some of the best quotes on the show are from Michael Scott, as he says, "That's what she said," or "I'm an early bird and a night owl, so I'm wise and have worms." The quote, "That's what she said," has taken over the world. I mean, who here hasn't heard of it? Every time I hang out with my guy friends, they always say something about what I say and always ends with "That's what she said." It's funny and interesting that a quote from The Office has become such a worldwide success. I mean, you can even get an app on iTunes saying "That's what she said." The plot on the show is funny as well. One of the most entertaining was when Michael runs into a lake because a GPS system told him to make a right-hand turn. Or when Michael throws a dinner party and he scares off all his guests with cringing, awkward moments. The funny quotes, characters, and plot make the show even better. The third reason why The Office is a great show is because of the love stories. The most famous and well-known relationship on The Office is Jim and Pam. They are similar to Rachel and Ross from Friends. They had cute little flirty moments for the first few seasons of the show, but the stars and timing was never really right for them to be a couple. But after they both end their previous relationships, they finally become an item by the 4th season, leading to a super cute engagement proposal by the 5th. Then in the 6th season, Jim and Pam get married, and they welcome a daughter. A lot of people can relate to this sort of slow progression for relationships, as John Krasinski, who plays Jim Halpert, says, "People come up to me all the time and say, I really appreciate those things. I was in that same situation." Jim and Pam are key components to the show as well. Because regular season episodes range anywhere between 6 to 7 million viewers, but when Jim and Pam moments happen, they go up in ratings. For instance, their wedding drew in 9.1 million viewers, according to TVByTheNumbers.com, which was one of the highest rated episodes of the season. Another highly watched episode was the delivery of Jim and Pam's baby. It brought in 9.35 million viewers, according to TVByTheNumbers.com. Jim and Pam moments, as you can see, add an extra 2 million viewers to the show, which shows that they are key components to the show as well. The final reason why The Office is a great show is because of dramatic moments, with pranks and fights. Jim, in just about every episode, will play a prank on fellow coworker Dwight. Some of the best pranks that Jim has ever pulled on Dwight, according to TheOfficePranks.com, was when Jim had convinced Dwight that it was a Friday when it was really a Thursday, when Jim makes Dwight think that it is a cool trend for men to carry purses, and in classic form, Jim moves Dwight's desk an inch every time he goes to the bathroom. So at the end of the day, it was 2 feet closer to the door. Fights happen on the office as well. As in any conflict setting or any office setting, conflict in the workplace is inevitable. Dwight and Andy had a dramatic moment as they fought over fellow coworker Angela. They got into an intense argument, offered to duel each other, and the winner got Angela. It made for great television, and in the end, Angela ended up alone. Another infamous fight was between Jim and Roy, Pam's ex-fiancé. They get into a little scuffle after Roy finds out that Jim and Pam had kissed, which leads to Roy getting upset and trying to fight Jim, but the ever-handy Dwight pulls out his pepper spray and ends the almost confrontation. This kept viewers on their toes with drama, and according to an episode review on IGN.com, they say, "It's safe to say we would never have predicted that Jim would have been saved by Dwight. His extreme pepper spraying of Roy was completely unexpected, and seeing tears streaming down his face during the interview immediately afterwards was priceless." So dramatic moments lead to great television show episodes. The Office is the best show on television because it's relatable, funny, has dramatic moments, and love stories. The Office has a little bit of everything for any kind of viewer. You can listen to Andy play a song on his guitar, drink coffee out of Michael Scott's World's Best Boss mug, see Angela love her cat Sprinkles, or witness Dwight solve a crime in the office with his volunteer sheriff's deputy badge. The Office is one of the best shows on television, according to TimeMagazine.com, as they have ranked The Office as one of the 100 best TV shows of all time in 2007. The Office was even voted by the Television Critics Association as one of the top 6 TV shows of the decade, beating out heavy hitter shows such as Friends, The Simpsons, and Sex and the City. Nothing makes a Thursday night better than watching The Office, and it is such a great show that it should be nominated for a Dundie.
All right, Casey, what did you think?
It was a very well-written speech. It was delivered very well. One thing, though, is when you show you're nervous, you move back and forth and shake your legs a lot. But that wasn't distracting too much. The subject was very interesting, because I watched that TV show too, but not as much. It was a very good... the structure was very well. You went into the characters first, and then you did the plots of the story, and you just described everything about the TV show. It was good.
All right. I thought you're making a claim of value here. You set up what your criteria are. I think you need to show why those are useful criteria, but you definitely stick to those criteria because that becomes the organizational structure of the speech during the rest of the presentation. You've got good anecdotes, a few quotes on these points, and I think you tell the stories pretty effectively. So all of that is solid. As a topic, it's not particularly controversial. It's interesting, and I think your audience is going to enjoy it. But if you're going to make a comparative argument, I think we need to have a little bit more of the comparison. Right at the end, you give us some comparative data about other shows, how critics ranked it in comparison to some of these other programs that are on, excuse me.